After the Brexit, a lot of talents have left the United Kingdom as it's not part of the European Union anymore. And that's why the British government has designed a specific visa, which is called High Potential Individual Visa, to attract talents to come and work in the United Kingdom. And in this video, I will discuss with you the eligibility criteria, the requirements, and how to apply, and everything that is related to the application of the High Potential Individual Visa. So let's go. The High Potential Individual Visa allowed the candidate to stay in the UK for a duration of a maximum of 2 years if you have a master's degree, and up to 3 years if you are a PhD holder or if you have any postdoctoral studies. But you must be graduated from an eligible university. And we will discuss also through the video how that you should know, or how you would know if your university that you already obtained a degree from is eligible for this program or not. When you get the High Potential Individual Visa, there is some stuff that you can do and some stuff you cannot. For the things you can do, you can search for a job, and if you get accepted into a position, you will be able to get a contract and stay permanently in the United Kingdom. And also you can find jobs or search for a job in any part of the UK. Also, you can go back and forth to your home country or travel abroad back and forth to the UK with a freedom of mobility, which is a really good point. And also, if you want to take your family with you, will be able to file an application for them so you can travel with your wife and your children. So that's also one of the privileges. But you cannot work as a coach in terms of sports in the domain of sports. So you cannot work as a professional coach in any type of sports. And also you cannot apply for any of the benefits that are for the UK citizens, like the unemployment, like salary or anything related to children. So basically you will be responsible for yourself and your family till you find a job. The duration of the High Potential Individual Visa, it depends on the degree you have. So if you have a master's degree, you will get it for 2 years. And if you have a PhD or postdoctoral studies, you will get it for 3 years. And one of the disadvantage of this visa is that you cannot extend it. So through the 2 years or the 3 years, you must find a job, or you can open your own business. That's fine. But if you couldn't find a job, or if you couldn't open your own business through the 2 years for master's students and 3 years for PhD students, you are not allowed to extend this visa. To apply for the High Potential Individual Visa, you must have your degree, either master or PhD, in the last 5 years, and you must be graduated from a list of eligible universities that already the British government has stated and specified. And we will go through the video step by step on how to find this list and how to find your university, if your university is enlisted in this list or not, because this is actually the main criteria that will give you kind of insight if you will be able to apply for this type of a visa or not. So the proof of English language is one of the most important elements in the application for the High Potential Individual Visa. And to prove your English proficiency, you have really different ways to prove this. The first category is that if you are a citizen of certain countries that you can find in the link in the description, you are okay to apply without having the English exam or English proof, because actually these countries are Anglophone, which means they speak English as their first language. So the British government stated a list of countries. If you are a citizen of these countries, you are okay to apply without having any English proficiency test. But if you are not, you have the other options to prove your English proficiency, which is number one, you can take the CELT exam, which is a secure English language test. And there is a specific list of providers, accredited providers, on the link in the description as well. And if you pass this exam, then this will be counted as a proof of your English proficiency. Number two, if you graduated from the British System High School, which is well known internationally as IG or GCSE. So if you have this diploma or this type of high school, you will be waived from taking any other English exam. The third criteria, or the third way to find so that you can prove that your English is enough to stay in the UK, that you must have studied in your home country your bachelor, master, or PhD in English language. And to get this, you need to get a statement from your university that proved that the medium of post instruction and examination was in English language during the entire program duration in your home country. So now let's say you found your university in the university eligible list and you have your proficiency of English language. Can you apply directly to the visa? And the answer is no. You have to go through a process prior to your application to the British Embassy for the high potential individual visa, which is the ECTIS stage. And ECTIS is actually like a British institution that is responsible for validating everything, every paper that you will present to the British Embassy. And basically, the report that will be taken from ECTIS is that it will tell or to explain to the British Embassy that you are the right person, there is no fraud, and you really have taken this diploma in that university, and that you really have taken your program in English, or yes, the score that he sent for the CELT exam is real, and this is the person who graduated from this university and who have taken this English exam. And this is basically because there are a lot of people, they do fraud or they do kind of fake papers. And that's why the British Embassy obligated people to have a report from the ECTIS prior to their application to the high potential individual visa. So if your papers are ready, you cannot apply directly for the visa. You have firstly apply for the ECTIS and wait for the report so that you can attach this report to your application to the British Embassy. I will also leave the link of ECTIS in the description so that you can go navigate and read more about this process. Now let's navigate together to learn more about this program in terms of the eligibility requirement, even the cost. So let's go. This is the official website and the announcement for the high potential individual visa from the British government. And the link I will leave in the description so that you can have an access to it. They have put everything, all the details about eligibility, knowledge of English, how much it costs, the documents, if you apply from outside of the UK. Because also this is also a note that people who are inside UK, they can also apply for this type of a visa, but the main target is to attract people who are interested to come from outside the United Kingdom. As we have discussed, this visa is given for 2 years for master students and 3 years if you have a PhD. And I want to discuss here with you actually one important part, which is the list of the universities, because as I have described, to apply for this program, you need to be a graduate of certain universities in the last 5 years. And this here we can check together. I will show you how to do this when it comes to eligibility criteria in the second point here. You will find here where you studied, and you can find the list of approved universities in the last 5 years, starting from 2016 till 2022. The students who have enrolled in 2022 and they will be graduating in 2023 this year. So that's very important to check, because maybe your university will be enlisted in this year but will not be enlisted in that year. So it means you will only be eligible if you graduated from this specific university only by 2022, 2023. So it's very, very important to match the university name with the year of your graduation. So for example, we will go to check this here. For example, now I am taking a diploma in Paris Sciences et Lettres, that's a French university. So what I would say, because I will be graduating this year, so I would just go and check here the list of universities. You will find that they have specific universities. Most of them are the really real good universities, California Institute of Technology, Cornell, Duke, but they also have some universities that are not located in the US. Like, for example, in Hong Kong, you can find the Chinese University of Hong Kong. There are two universities from Switzerland, which is the École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne and the EHT Zurich. Harvard University, etc. Karolinska Institute is a very, very good university in Sweden. This is the university that has a committee of the Nobel Prize for the Nobel Prize winners each year. This university has a committee that decides who deserves to take the Nobel Prize each year, which is really, really interesting. We can now find universities in Canada, in Japan, in Singapore, France. So I found here Paris Sciences et Lettres, which is my university, which means if I'm getting a master degree or a PhD degree from PSL this year, I am eligible to apply for this type of the visa. Again, we will find China, Germany, Australia, Japan again. So this is for this year. So we can go back and check the list, for example, 2018, 2019. Here you will find again the list. Maybe you will find some universities that are not in the same year of today. So it's okay. That's why it's very important to check and match the degree date that you have earned with the list here. So as soon as you find your university is included in this here, it means you're really eligible to apply for this program. And here they say that the qualification must be at the same level as bachelor degree, postgrad, or PhD, or doctorate degree, which is postdoc. So bachelor, master's, and PhD or any other postdoctoral degree. Here, as I have discussed with you, you need to have the proven proof of English language, which is very, very important. And we can check here that they have specified that to prove your English language, you need to abide by these regulations. So either to take the CELT exam or to be graduating, to be a graduate of the GCSE system, which is the IG. This is a British high school. That's why they specify that when you were under 18, because they want to make sure you have got this degree while you were studying in the high school. And here they put the list of countries that they don't have to provide any English proof, like no exam or no high school, like a British system, nothing. If you just a citizen of these countries, it means you already have a good level of English and you do not need to provide any proof of your English proficiency. There is one important point I need to clarify here, as I clarified during the video, is that if you find your university in the eligible universities list and you have matched your degree, that's okay. And then you have the proof of English proficiency, either the exam or the IG, or if you are a citizen of any of those countries, you cannot apply directly for the high potential individual visa. You need to apply through ACTIS, which, like, see here what they have said: having a degree level academic qualification that was taught in English. If you studied abroad, you will need to apply through ACTIS, formerly UK NARIC 2 confirmation that your qualification is equivalent to the UK bachelor degree, master degree, or PhD. So basically, that's very important for all students to apply to get the report from the ACTIS. So one point here is that if you are not a citizen of those countries, like let's say if you are from Jordan, or if you are from Egypt, or if you are from France, or whatever, and you studied in your university in English, you can still apply and get a proof of your university, a proof from your university that the medium of post instruction and examination was in English. And then before you apply for the visa, you need to apply for the ECTIS application. And the ECTIS application actually is the an institution in the United Kingdom that makes kind of an audit on your degree and your English exam to make sure everything is real and there was no fake papers provided. And they provide you with a report, and with that report you have to attach it with your application to the high potential individual visa along with your papers. And without this report from Actis, your visa application will be rejected. So it's very, very, very important to get this report and make the step of Actis before you apply for the high potential individual visa. So in this section, I will discuss the money part, which is very important for everyone. And before I go through it, like really, this is one of the cheapest programs that I have ever seen in my life, actually, because the other immigration program or other visas, they really require a lot of money. And this one, I'm surprised that it's not that costly compared to the other programs or the other immigration programs. So actually, to apply for this program, you need to have, as I said, if your degree was in English from any other, like from any other country other than the list that they have specified, and you need to prove that your English is good through studying in your university in English, you need to apply for the ECTIS application, and this is before you apply for the visa and the high potential individual visa. And this application will cost you 210 British pound or English pound. And this is for the ECTIS to check your qualification. So this is the first amount of money that you need. Or if you provided the CELT exam, for example, it means you have to pay for the CELT exam. But this is for the ECTIS application. And then the application fee for the visa is 715, and that's pretty cheap compared to any other immigration visa that I have checked earlier in other countries. So it's pretty affordable for most of people. And believe me, that's really nothing compared to getting a visa for 2 years or 3 years. That's really nothing. It's like really very cheap. And you need, here is a problem, a little bit expensive, is the healthcare surcharge, which means that you need to have a medical insurance certificate or kind of a like insurance petition before you go to the United Kingdom. And this will cost you 624 English pounds for each year. So if you are applying for the 2 years, you multiply this by 2. If you are applying for the with a PhD to get the 3 years, you have to multiply this by 3. And you need to support, and this is actually the very impressive part to me. They ask you for a bank statement that has only 1,270 English pounds. And this for me, like when I read between lines, is that they really encourage people to go even if you don't have so much money. And I am positive that the government already had shared and used with all the companies and businesses to accept the students or people who are applying with this type of visa as soon as possible, because they know that you won't come with a lot of money, and they already have these partnerships with businesses so that they can quickly hasten the application recruitment process for people who are applying for jobs upon their arrival to the United Kingdom. Because this amount, like if I will give you an example with this one, and the immigration to Canada, the bank statement for Canada for one person is 15,000 Canadian dollars. And here they ask you for 1,270 English pounds. So it's kind of really something is really like, it's kind of alarming to me. So this is very important to know. So as here they are recapping for you, if it's 2 years for the healthcare insurance, this is the amount of money you need, and this is for the 3 years. You will need to pay this amount of money for the medical insurance, and it's not even doubling the number or tripling it. Yes, it's actually this, like doubling the number for the 2 years and trebling the number for the 3 years. So anyway, that's a very important part, because when you are in a foreign country, it's very important to have the medical insurance with you. That's very, very good. But there's like here a privilege for people who are applying for the healthcare sector. If you got a job in the healthcare sector, you will get back this medical insurance money. So if you have a job in public sector healthcare, after you have paid the health surcharge, you may be able to get a refund. So, and again, here they are recapping that this is the amount of money you need. And this amount of money will cover you for 28 days in a row. Okay? So that's very, very good actually in terms of the amount of money that you need. So now we can recap together what are the required document that you really need to prepare before your application to the high potential individual visa, which is number one, you need to have a valid passport. That's number one. And the proof of English that we already have discussed earlier, is either the CELT exam, the IG diploma for if you had this in the high school, or a proof that you have taken your degree, the bachelor degree or the master degree in English, and you need to get a report from ACTAS for this. Or you just need to be a citizen of a specific list of countries that were listed earlier, so that you get the exemption of the English proficiency proof. So this is the ACTAS name of the ACTAS report that you need. It's called Academic Qualification Level Statement and English Language Proficiency Statement, or they just call it Academic Qualification Level Statement. These are the main documents that should be with you. Sometimes in some countries, they may ask you for the biometric residence permit. But actually also if you can take actually your family with you, but you have to pay extra expenses based on how many of you are taking. So if you are taking your wife only, will be different from a wife and 2 kids or a wife and 1 kid. So take care of the this as well, because the cost that we have discussed is only for the main person or for the one person. So here is also one of the most important parts is, okay, what if I got a job in United Kingdom? Then you will be allowed to switch like your visa to a working visa, and then you will be able to stay in UK legally, where you can go through the normal process of to be a resident in the UK. And this is actually one of the most interesting visas to attract the skilled workers to come to a specific country. As I said, it's not that hard in terms of the application process. The required papers are not that complicated. And also in terms of the cost, it's really, really affordable. Maybe the only trick in this type of visa is that you need to be graduated from a specific university so that you will be eligible to apply for it. And this is the only trick that I find a bit difficult in this program. But other than this, everything is too affordable. So that was the just a guideline through navigating the website from the British government and announcement for the high potential individual visa. I hope you enjoyed the video about the high potential individual visa. Don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram and TikTok to learn more about studying abroad and the other global opportunities. Good luck.